Far away from the noise of cities and the rush of modern life, there lay a small village in the heart of India. Fields of golden wheat swayed gently with the wind. Mango trees stood like silent guardians along narrow, dusty paths. A river meandered lazily nearby, its waters carrying the fragrance of monsoon rains from distant hills. In this village lived Arjun, a young boy with bright eyes and an even brighter mind. From childhood, he had been known for his endless questions about life, about people, about the purpose of it all. While other children played under the shade of the banyan tree, Arjun would often sit by the riverside, tossing pebbles into the water and wondering why hearts longed for more than they had. The villagers liked him but often laughed gently at his curiosity. "Arjun," they would say, "you think too much for your age. Enjoy life while you can." But Arjun's thirst for wisdom was not quenched by simple answers. He longed for deeper truths, the kind that could guide him through the storms of life. One morning, the sound of temple bells echoed across the fields. News spread quickly. Guruji, a revered saint who traveled from place to place teaching life's profound lessons, had come to the village. He was known in many regions for his simple yet powerful words, his deep compassion, and his uncanny ability to see into the hearts of people. Guruji had taken residence in a small hut on the edge of the village, beside a sacred peepal tree. His days were spent meditating, guiding those who came with questions, and walking along the riverbank at dawn. Arjun had heard of him from traveling merchants, who spoke of how Guruji's wisdom had transformed lives. And so, one sunny afternoon, Arjun gathered his courage, took a deep breath, and walked to the hut. As he reached the entrance, he saw Guruji seated on a simple mat. His white beard caught the sunlight, and his eyes were as calm as the river after the rains. Birds chirped nearby as if nature itself was listening to him breathe. Bowing respectfully, Arjun spoke, "Guruji, may I ask you something that has been troubling my mind?" Guruji smiled gently. "Ask, my child." A question asked with sincerity is like a seed waiting to grow. "Guruji," Arjun began, "what are the things in life that we should keep to ourselves? Things that are too precious to share with just anyone?" Guruji's eyes gleamed with understanding. "Ah," he said, "you seek to know the treasures of silence. Sit down, Arjun, and listen carefully. There are indeed 7 things that a wise person always guards within the temple of their heart." Arjun leaned forward, his heart beating with anticipation. Guruji spoke softly. "First, my child, keep your intentions private. They are the seeds from which your actions grow. If you plant a seed before the ground is ready, it will wither. If you expose it too early, others may trample it before it has the chance to sprout." He looked toward the fields beyond the peepal tree. Imagine a farmer who tells the whole village about his new crop before planting it. People may laugh at him, doubt him, or even try to harm his land out of jealousy. But if he plants quietly and tends to his field in silence, soon the harvest will speak for itself. Arjun nodded slowly, realizing how often people's words and doubts had shaken his own plans. Guruji continued, "Your intentions are the quiet whispers of your soul. Keep them safe until they grow strong enough to stand in the world. Second," Guruji said, "guard your personal goals. The moment you speak of them too soon, you open the door for others' opinions to enter. And not all opinions are given with love." He told Arjun a story. There was once a young sculptor who dreamed of creating the tallest statue in the kingdom. He told his friends, his neighbors, and even strangers in the marketplace. Some laughed, saying it was impossible. Others offered advice that confused him. Slowly, his hands lost their certainty. The statue remained unfinished, not because he lacked skill, but because he allowed the noise of others to drown his inner voice. Guruji's gaze was steady. "Work quietly on your goals. Let your success make the announcement, not your words." Third, Guruji said, "Never boast of your acts of charity. True kindness does not need a witness." He recited an old saying, "The left hand should not know what the right hand has given." Guruji shared how in his travels, he had seen people feed the poor but announce it loudly, making sure the whole village knew. "Such charity is not charity," he said. "It is trade, giving for the sake of praise." He told of a humble woman in a distant village who would leave bags of grain outside the doors of struggling families in the dead of night. No one knew for years who their secret benefactor was. Only after she passed away did they discover it was her, and her silent giving had fed an entire community for decades. Arjun felt a warm respect for such selflessness, realizing that pure giving is a conversation between the heart and the divine. Fourth, Guruji said, keep your spiritual or personal practice private. Whether you meditate, pray, study scriptures, or practice an art, do it for your growth, not for the applause of others. He explained that when we display our practice to seek approval, we risk turning it into a performance rather than a path. In my youth, Guruji said, I learned the Veena. At first, I practiced in the quiet of my hut. But when I began to perform for praise, the music lost its depth. Only when I returned to playing in solitude did the notes regain their soul. Arjun understood. Some things grow best in silence. Fifth, Guruji's voice softened. Guard the matters of your family. Every home has its challenges, its disagreements, its private joys and sorrows. Speaking of them carelessly to outsiders can wound the dignity of those you love. He compared a family to an earthen lamp. The flame burns bright when protected from the wind, but if you expose it to every passing breeze, it flickers and may go out. Arjun thought of moments when he had spoken of his parents' struggles to friends. He now understood how sacred the trust of family truly was. Sixth, Guruji said firmly, keep your wealth and possessions private. Flaunting what you own invites envy and unnecessary complications. He told of a man who built a grand new house and displayed his gold ornaments at every festival. People admired him, but secretly some plotted to take what he had. Within months, thefts began, and his peace was lost. Humility in abundance is like a tree heavy with fruit, Guruji said. It bends low, rather than standing tall in pride. Finally, Guruji's eyes grew distant, as though looking into realms unseen. Seventh, my child, keep your spiritual experiences to yourself. They are treasures given to you by the divine, not for display, but for your own growth. He spoke of how in deep meditation, one may feel visions, light, or profound peace. These are not for the marketplace of words. The more you talk of them, the more they lose their power. Let them guide you silently, shaping your soul. The sun was setting now, bathing the river in golden light. Arjun sat still, absorbing the weight of Guruji's words, 7 simple truths, yet each felt like a key to a hidden door. Guruji placed a gentle hand on Arjun's head. Remember, my child, silence is not emptiness. It is the womb where wisdom is born. Guard these 7 things, and you will walk through life with dignity, strength, and peace. Arjun bowed deeply, his heart overflowing with gratitude. As he walked back through the fields toward home, the village seemed different, as though every sound, every breeze, every glimmer of light carried the echo of Guruji's wisdom. And from that day on, Arjun lived not to announce his life, but to live it fully, quietly, and meaningfully.
Your support keeps us motivated. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.